thank you for talking to me about this, because it was one of those movies that I had to pay attention to because I had no idea what was going to happen. I very much appreciate that.
How nice is that, actually?
Yeah, no, I love that.
Don't know what's going to happen at the end.
Yeah, and with this, like, I feel like it was still very unexpected. There were way more people that ended up dead than I thought would. So that was definitely unexpected. And I'm curious, I mean, when you guys read this script, what was it that interested you? Are you like, is this the kind of book you would normally read? Like, what was it about this story that you liked?
I think being a huge fan of like this, like movies like this from the 70s and like the thriller aspect and this genre was like really exciting. And the director's vision of it was so clear. But I really love that there is the thriller aspect, which is, being in the middle of a tsunami. But within that, you have the dynamic of two people who are really flawed and really have to learn, especially for my character, somebody who has lives with a lot of fear and anxiety and trusts no one besides herself. And as a single mother, knowing that she's got to put her child above everything else and really is, can't trust their life in anyone else's hands. But in the middle of a tsunami, what they find themselves in, Parker, Shea's character, she's really learning to take down pieces of armor to be able to accept his help and his loyalty, which is, I just love that whole dynamic within a thriller concept. And Shea agrees.
Do you want to hear? Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm a huge fan of the 70s. I'm a huge, Easy Rider, Raging Bulls. I love it, and I read this and I kind of thought, and I always read it and say, can I figure out what to do with this guy, and then, my relationship to every character in it. And when Olivia signed on, I wanted to see her do something else and go in there. I knew she was ready, and Bruce Dern, he's a legend. Same thing with Frank Grillo, and so it came together. And these things, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. You know what I mean? But you always want to have an experience, and even if they don't work, I want an experience, and this one didn't disappoint. And I think you feel that with this. I think it's a thriller. I think it's a great ride, but you care about the characters, and that's kind of a lost art now. Storytelling and characters you care about. You know what I mean? You still get a car crash, you still get guns, or you still get drugs and stuff, but it's surrounded by watching these characters try to get out of the situations that they're in.
Yeah, one of the things I found so interesting about it is that these characters on the surface feel like that familiar type of character in this type of story, but they're much more complex and nuanced than that. Were those layers always there? Were those things that were added? Did it get developed from the first time you read the script to when you shot it, or were those layers always a part of it?
I think there's a good part of the dynamic that was in the script already, but just like any role, you bring your own history, your own sensibilities, your own feelings. And it was really, I feel, you do your own work before you get to set. But when Shea and I were able to get into a room together and we went through every single line in the script, not just our scenes, but everything, to get a real sense of like how we wanted our piece of the pie to fit into the world, that's when it starts to get really layered. And then our connection, like we, you do movies and of course, you have to show up and you have that dynamic and hopefully everyone can deliver on set. But like Shea and I were really lucky that we really just bonded as individuals outside. And so that helps to bring in those layers once you're on camera. So I think, it's like maybe 40%, and then the other 60% is what happens once you're there and what you bring and what your connection is.
Look, I'm going to step on her just a little bit and give her. These things are not easy. They're never easy. And you come in and they demand a lot of you. And we, she went in and just. She went deep and did something I haven't seen her do in this piece, and I I was really blown away by it, and Bruce would say the same thing, and so it was really gratifying. Yeah, this piece.
Thanks, Shea.
What was it like to work with Bruce Dern? What is he like on set? Is he someone who shares a lot of stories, or is it just all about the work for him?
It's both. It's both. He has lived 1,000 lives and he remembers every single one of them. And then you've got Shea, who is enthralled by every single part of movie making and our business and knows the history of everything. So then there's someone like me that gets to watch, Shea would come in every time we had a break, he'd ask him about some other movie or some other thing or this actor or this. And so, there's a lot of stuff that I didn't know, but I was able to learn through Shea's questioning of Bruce. And Bruce has so many stories. And on top of that, he's, 80 and shows up every day, is so invested in the work, cares so much about it, wants to talk about it, wants to get into it. He's everything that you would want someone like Bruce Dern to be.
Here. I can't, it's the stories where you can't. It went from just incredible stories about Nicholson and King of Marvin Gardens to watching him tell Olivia why a banana and mayonnaise sandwich is the greatest thing, and he eats them every day. And you know what I mean? So it was obtuse and beautiful and crass and just everything that, and it was, this is why we're here talking about it. You know what I mean?
Olivia, for you, your character has this relationship that has a very heightened level of intensity to it. And you have a scene in this that gets pretty physical with him. What were those conversations like? Did you have discussions about how to handle that and what sort of planning and staging you wanted to do for that?
Yeah, it's an independent movie, first of all. So, our budget is, we don't have like a whole team of people, like normally, like what Shea's probably dealing with on Mission Impossible. It's vastly different. But, these moments really matter. Like they have to be really
true. That got wild that night.
No, that's what I mean. It's like, but so that's the thing, is that we don't have that team. So then we all as actors, we have to we have to do 200% on that, because we have to think like, it's really, and really instead of it in a way, I think, instead of anything being like truly like choreographed, like with stunt people, it just became so visceral and emotional, and it got really wild, like Shea was saying, because
she's a black belt in karate and taekwondo.
Yeah, I am a black, so I knew how to handle myself. But everything needed to get really. We were able to just as actors go like what do we want this to be, and it really was all motivated by what would really happen, what are those emotions, and just we basically that's all we did was talk about it, and then like go to town. There weren't people there like coming in and saying, okay, there's this and this is going to happen. We had like some people on set for like security reasons and insurance reasons and things you need, but like the truth of it is that like we as actors just sat down and said like, make sure that it's safe, but like we all shake hands on go to town. Okay, we're gonna do this. Okay. And, there was times where you're like, I'm like, okay, like that, she's like got, something happens to his back, something's happening to my throat, something's happening to my arm, but I don't know. I don't know how weird we are, but like, it kind of feels good. Like, like sometimes a bruise can kind of feel good. You kind of like push on a bruise. Like, I think when we had those, we're kind of like, yeah, we did something. We just, and it's really fun to be able to like, to trust each other to go as far as we need to go.
That's the whole key when I'm in doing these heavy fight scenes, and she did one of the biggest on the thing on the film. If there's trust and love involved, you can go at someone really hard. You know what I mean? If it's not there, then you don't. But if it's there, she was like, bring it. Let's bring it. And you feel that. You feel that on it's. I was very, very taken, with her work on it.
Yeah, as a dancer, I can appreciate wearing bruises as pride when you do something like that. I have definitely been there.
But also then you get it too, like the physicality is really nothing unless you have the emotion. And I'm I'm pretty sure, I don't know if this is even allowed, but they you know, like anybody that I had to hit or slap, there was nothing fake about it. It was all, like when I'm getting choked out, I'm getting choked out. Like when I'm getting thrown here, we just kind of, we didn't, the thing is when you're on an indie movie, you don't have the luxury of time to figure it all out. We all just, like Shea was saying, there's love and trust. And so we go, we're all here to make this as believable as possible. So, you know, what is the limit that you can take? And we all talked about our limits. And it just turns out we all had pretty far limits. Like you can do X, Y, and Z to me. And that's what you saw. So everything you see is what really happened.
Well, what's next for you guys? Shea, are you going to be returning for season 2 of Perry Mason? And Olivia, are you going to be involved with this new G4 at all? Like what's going on with you guys?
I would love to be in the new Perry Mason as well.
I would love that.
One of my good friends, Chris Chalk from the newsroom on there. That show is, Perry Mason's so good.
It's gorgeous too.
I would love for Shea to do a little bit more work on my end to get me into all of his projects. He's on Mission Impossible right now. He's coming back to LA. I'm like, I feel like I'm his publicist now. I'm like, then he's going to come back. He's doing another big movie.
Stop. Yeah. Yeah. Knock wood. Yeah. She's got a lot going on. She's being very humble too. So.
No, I'm just being jealous of Shea's career. Humble. I'm just pissed off. We're mad. Why isn't your agent on my team?
She knows how to make me laugh so hard. She does like that.
You laughing, but I'm serious, Shea. He keeps laughing. He keeps thinking I'm joking this whole time. All day, he thinks I'm laughing. I'm like, tell your brother, Jack Whigham, who's at CAA, so am I, it's his agent, that I'm his client. This is not a bit, Shea.
Right.
See, there it is. On Collider has it. You said all right.
Listen, we're no, but seriously, to get back, these kind of films need people like you to get out there, and we love the film. I'm running on no sleep in London, shooting Mission. She's saving animals, doing real work. You know what I mean? And we're here, you know, because we love it. We love the piece. We love the experience of it. We love, you know, so, and I don't do much publicity at all. And this one I really feel strongly about. So we're very appreciative.
Yeah, and I mean, you guys are all excellent in this, and it's so great to watch great actors, but watching great actors together is even more fun. So I think that, especially with something like this, just watching, because you can tell it makes such a difference with your performances too.
Thanks. That means a lot.
Sure, like Bruce, you know, some of that stuff that he and I, and then at the end with her, and it's unbelievable watching him to continue to dig out great performances, you know.
And I also really love, Olivia, the music video you did for Imagine Dragons. I mean,
oh yeah,
it must be so fun to do something like that where you don't have to worry about dialogue and you can just do like some crazy stuff.
Yeah, that was fun. That was my first thing back from the pandemic. My first job was like to go and I love the Imagine Dragons, and they're such an amazing band, and they're such good people, all of them. And then and the director was really collaborative with me and the band, and I said I wanted to bring my good friend Adrian Martinez on to play with us, and that was a lot of fun for sure. And you had asked about G4, and I wanted to just say, like, I'm super excited about the network coming back. And I have told them that I am here and, you know, super excited to do whatever they need to help out in any way.
Does that feel kind of like a strange full circle thing that's coming back into your life in some way?
It felt like it has never left my life. I miss Attack of the Show every single day. Like I miss that time in my life. I miss that show. It was so much fun. I miss everything about it. There literally isn't a day that goes by that I'm not like, oh, like in somewhere in the back of my head, I'm just like, I miss it. So it hasn't, I don't feel, it has never really left me. I'm excited that it's getting another shot to come back around and be there for the people who watched it for so long before, and also to bring on new audiences and fans as well. So, I'm here whenever they need me. They just need to call.
Well, thanks you guys for talking to me. It was great to watch you both in this, and hopefully Shea, the Mission Impossible movies will finish filming someday so that we can see them. Thank you.
They're going to be Mission Impossible like webisodes. You just have to put out little by little by little.
It's
gonna be
crazy.
good. I'll tell you that.
It's such a wild production. It feels like it's been filming for a decade. So
it's going to be so good. I mean, these guys are so smart. Yeah.
Well, thank you both.
All right.
Thank you so much.